Have you ever seen those giant stone heads and wondered, who on earth put those there? Today, we're journeying to one of the most isolated places on the planet, Easter Island, or as its native people call it, Rapa Nui. This tiny speck of land in the vast Pacific Ocean is home to nearly 1,000 colossal statues, the Moai. They've puzzled explorers and scientists for centuries. Who carved these monolithic giants? And more importantly, why? Let's travel back in time. The story begins around the 13th century when Polynesian voyagers first set foot on this volcanic island. These weren't just random wanderers. They were master navigators who crossed thousands of miles of open ocean in double-hulled canoes, bringing with them the seeds of a new society. When they arrived, they found an island lush with forests and teeming with bird life. It was a paradise. These settlers, the Rapa Nui people, began a tradition that would define their culture for generations, carving the Moai. These aren't just heads. Most have full bodies buried beneath the earth. Each statue, weighing several tons and standing up to 33 feet tall, was carved from the volcanic tuff of a single quarry, Reno Raraku. Imagine the scene. Hundreds of workers, chipping away with basalt stone tools called toki, bringing these stone ancestors to life. But why go to all this trouble? The prevailing theory is that the Moai are representations of deified ancestors. Each statue was likely commissioned by a particular lineage or chief to watch over their village, project power, and channel the spiritual energy, or mana, of their forefathers. They were placed on large stone platforms called ahu, always facing inland, keeping a protective watch over the community. They were the guardians of the island. The sheer scale of this operation is mind-boggling. Think about it. No wheels, no cranes, just pure human ingenuity and strength. So, how did they move these behemoths, some weighing as much as a space shuttle, across miles of rugged terrain? This is one of Easter Island's greatest debates. One theory suggests they were laid on their backs on wooden sledges and dragged over a track of rollers. This would have required an immense amount of timber and rope. Another, more fascinating theory proposes that the statues walked. By rocking them side to side with ropes, the Rapa Nui could inch them forward in an upright position. Archaeologists Terry Hunt and Carl Lippo have demonstrated this is possible with replicas, showing how the statue's low center of gravity and D-shaped base would have facilitated this walking motion. It's a brilliant piece of ancient engineering. Once at their destination, the Moai were raised onto their ahu platforms. Then, they were given their final, powerful features. Coral was used to create the whites of their eyes, with pupils made of red scoria or obsidian. Imagine standing before one of these completed statues, its eyes gleaming as if it were alive, staring down at you. It would have been an awe-inspiring, even terrifying sight. On top of some statues, they placed a pakeo, a cylindrical topknot carved from a different, reddish stone, representing a chieftain's hairstyle. For centuries, this statue-building culture thrived. It was a society obsessed with honoring its ancestors and displaying its prowess. But then, something went wrong. When European explorers arrived in the 18th century, they found a starkly different landscape. The lush palm forests were gone, the land was barren, and the population had dwindled. Many of the statues had been toppled. This leads us to the classic collapse theory, famously popularized by Jared Diamond in his book Collapse. The story goes like this. The Rapa Nui, driven by a competitive frenzy to build bigger and more impressive Moai, chopped down all their trees. This ecocide led to soil erosion, the inability to build canoes for fishing, starvation, and eventually, societal collapse and warfare, during which rival clans toppled each other's statues. It's a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of overexploiting your resources. But is it the whole story? Over the last couple of decades, a more nuanced picture has emerged. While deforestation certainly happened, many researchers now argue it wasn't the sole cause of the collapse. The introduction of the Polynesian rat, which arrived with the first settlers, likely played a huge role. With no natural predators, the rat population exploded, feasting on tree seeds and preventing the forests from regenerating. So, it may have been less of a deliberate ecocide and more of an ecological catastrophe that spiraled out of control. Furthermore, evidence suggests that the Rapa Nui were incredibly resilient and innovative farmers. They developed techniques like rock gardens or lithic mulch to protect their crops from the wind and retain moisture in the poor soil, allowing them to sustain a sizable population even after the trees were gone. So what about the toppled statues and the supposed warfare? Recent studies suggest that the Moai, or the statue toppling era, occurred much later, possibly after European contact. The arrival of outsiders brought diseases to which the islanders had no immunity, leading to a catastrophic population crash. Slavers from Peru in the 1860s also devastated the community, kidnapping a large portion of the population, including the elders who held the knowledge of their culture and traditions. It was likely this combination of factors, ecological change, disease, and the slave trade, that truly brought the Rapa Nui society to its knees. The internal conflict and statue toppling may have been a symptom of this final, tragic breakdown, a loss of faith in the ancestors who could no longer protect them from these new, overwhelming threats. Today, Rapa Nui is a testament to both human creativity and fragility. The remaining Moai, many of which have been re-erected by archaeologists, stand as silent witnesses to a complex and fascinating history. They aren't just a story of collapse. They are a story of incredible achievement, adaptation, and survival against the odds. The Rapa Nui people and their culture endure, working to preserve their heritage and share the true, multifaceted story of their ancestors with the world. So the next time you see a picture of these iconic stone figures, remember the incredible journey they represent. They are more than just mysterious statues on a remote island. They are the legacy of a brilliant and resilient people, a story etched in stone that continues to captivate us all. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to the heart of the Pacific. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Let me know in the comments what you think happened on Easter Island. See you next time.